according to this witness, it was Brigadier Kininda who was accompanied by 3 other people. It was Brigadier Kininda was doing the talking and the other one was writing. He does not know this other person was writing. And that happened. And that happened in July, according to him. Because soon after, that is now the following day, soon after they consulted with him, or they were there to see him, to go and apologize for it, to say that. Thank you, madam. Because the following day after they had consulted with him, he had a conversation with accused number 5, who was also housed in the same correctional center. Accused number 5 told him that no. In the evening, they also approached him with a view to charge him, but then he did not cooperate with them, my lord. So I do not know the 6 people. And this witness specifically says that was in July, although it does not remember the date. It's far from the date of the 19th of August 2020, my lord. Okay.
He was at the peak of his career. Who did not like that?
Is this just...
I'll say it was a hit. Where is the mastermind?
Thank you, Brigadier.
Hey, nikuphi. Ngicela nisondelane. Wonders shall never end. Wonders shall never end, and wonders will never end in the court of, in Judge Ratha's court. Nangizwa. Now, Dr. Sibanda just exposed Kininda in the middle of the people right during the day. Exposing indlela, you won't understand. But after listening to the clip, the second one, where he was talking, Dr. Sibanda, there you will hear ukuthi namhlanje uze ngenye namhlanje. Ngiyanibulisa. Hello, members of the Court of Public Opinion. I am your host, Mrs. Independent, aka I'm not a lawyer, but I know when evidence is not only investigated but collected. I know that when the evidence is collected and not investigated. Now, members of the Court of Public Opinion, the reason why I am saying Dr. Sibanda has exposed Manyofonyofo Kininda is because of his arrogance. Doctor is so arrogant, and if he's not careful, it's going to be his downfall, right? It's going to be his downfall. Ukunselane uthi, I narrated my statement to Kininda. Kininda was questioning me. I narrated my statement. Someone else was writing it down, and then I only penned my signature, right? They never read it back to me. And he confirms as well, right? So now, when he questions, and not only questioning, trying to establish or prove the statement, Oti, to Kinselani, you said Kininda didn't take, you said Kininda didn't take the statement. Someone was writing it down. And then Kinselani, yes, let me tell you again, as the officer of the court, okay? What? As the officer of the court, I know handwriting Kininda. I know it. So this is Kininda's handwriting. So he is exposing that Kininda really authored the statement. And when Kinselani said anything that has to do with that mentions the name of accused one, I'm not going to answer it because that's not part of my statement. I am not willing to answer what I have never said, what I don't know. What I know is maybe like 2 paragraphs that I've said that I was incarcerated with my brother, and that's all I know. But let's take a listen to this, then let's talk after this clip.
You can read it, that's an argument.
Yes. You testified that you made a statement.
Wethule ufakazike ukuthi ke une statement owasenza.
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. And then you said it was at the time when you were at Kalakabusha Correctional Facility, correct?
Ushilo kana ukuthi lokho kwenzeka ke ngesikhathi wasesejele laseKalakabusha. Yes.
And the statement was reduced to writing.
Ukuthi sabhalwa phansi. Yes.
Furthermore, Brigadier Gininda also testified that they took a statement from yourself.
Naye ke uBrigadier Gininda wethula ubufakazi-ke kuyona le nkantolo ukuthi ke bane-statement abasithatha kuwena. Yes.
And at this stage, can you also confirm that your full name is Qiniselani Bheki Kuthintwa Buthelezi?
Ungaqinisekisa ukuthi amagama akho aphelele uQiniselani Bheki Kuthintwa Buthelezi? Yes.
And then you were born in 1986, August 6th.
Wazalwa nge-6 August 1986. Yes.
And then you also confirmed that you also signed the statement.
Uyaqinisekisa nokuthi wasayina futhi? Yes.
And then your ID number is also on the statement. I want to read it just for your security.
Number yakho ke amazisi ibhaliwe ke napha ngeke ngiyifundeke nayo ngokuvikeleka nje kwakho ke noma ukuhlanganisa nje ukuvikeleka kwakho. Yes.
And then I want to then show you a document at the stage. It's an original. Can you see that document?
Yes.
Do you recognize the signature at the bottom of the statement?
Yes.
Is that your signature?
Yeah. Yes.
And then on the next page of the statement, there's also a signature. Do you see that signature?
Yeah. Yes.
And then there's also a date just above your signature.
Date not 1908-2020.
And the time?
Yes, 8 o'clock.
And then there's also a signature at the bottom of the statement.
Yes.
And then there is a signature of Brigadier Gininda.
It's got Brigadier Gininda. Okay.
And you said this statement was taken from you at the time you were at Kalakabusha prison, correct?
Yes.
And this statement was taken by Brigadier Gininda.
I wouldn't be certain, but at the time when Gininda was talking, someone else was writing who was with him.
But as an officer of this court, now I know that this handwriting is the handwriting of Brigadier Gininda.
Manje ke nanjengomuntu ke osebenza ke kule nkantolo noma ukhona ke nkantolo sengiyazi ke manje ukuthi isandla lesi esika Brigadier Gininda. All right.
And then you also confirmed that this is your signature as well.
Now uyaqinisekisa ukuthi wena wasayina lapha. Yes.
There's one on the first page and there's a signature also on the second page.
Ne signature lana wasayina futhi nalana futhi. Yes.
And the statement was duly commissioned.
Okay. Ukuthi ke basi beka doma ke besayinda ke ngobasemaphoyiseni ngipheqelezwe ke lebo bathi bona ke ucommissioner. Right.
And then it says it was done so in his presence, Brigadier Gininda at Kalakabusha prison in Pangini.
Uyasho ke lana ke uBrigadier Gininda ukuthi lokho kwenzeka ke ekhona yena ejele ke lase eKalakabusha eMpangeni.
And the date there that is appearing is 2020-08-19 at 20.
Nayi ke date 19 August 2020 isikhathi u8.
Thank you. And then it was also your testimony that this document was never read back to you.
Ushilo-ke kubufakazi bakho ukuthi-ke abakazi bakufundele ukuthi emuva kokuthi sebeqedile ukubhala abazange bakufundele. Yes.
In what language were you communicating with Brigadier Gininda as well as the people that he was with?
Manje-ke wena naye uBrigadier Gininda kanye nabantu-ke ayenabo iliphi ulimi enanikhuluma ngalo? I was conversing in isiZulu.
And then Brigadier Gininda?
Gininda yena? I think he was conversing in English. I'm not certain.
So how did you manage to communicate with him?
Manje-ke kwenzeka kanjani-ke ukuthi-ke nikwazi-ke ukuthi-ke nizwane? Yaka, the prison head, was assisting us.
So as Brigadier Gininda was asking you questions, Yaka will act as a translator?
Wayithi umuGininda ebuza abe uYaka yena-ke sebeyatolika-ke. Yes.
So Yaka can also attest to what was being written on this statement.
Manje-ke uYaka lokho okubhaliwe lana naye angaqinisekisa noma angakufakazela lokho okubhaliwe lana. Yes.
Thank you.
So let me do just a quick recap on how this statement came about. Qiniselani said while he was incarcerated in Epongweni, not Epongweni, Kalagabusha, Mokgane and the big dudes, they came, visited him, not only visited, but came to charge him for Senzo Meyiwa's murder. And they did the process. They took his his thumbprints. They took his DNA because they brought something, and then he was asked to open his mouth. So they swapped his mouth, and after that, they gave him the statement, or is it the certificate of rights, right? They gave him that, and they told him that they are charging him for Senzo Meyiwa murder. So after they said that, he was like, "Oh man, gangan, you charging me for what?" And then they explained, and then he said, "Not so fast. When this murder was taking place, me and my brother were over here. We're already over here. We were already jailed. We were incarcerated. We don't know what you're talking about. Okay, make it make sense, and tell us who said we did what you said we did." And then they didn't give him an answer. They didn't tell him who said they were involved in Senzo Meyiwa's murder and what part did they play. So instead of that explaining, they said, "Okay, if you are saying that, we're gonna go and verify the information that we're giving us." And surely they left. And then 4 weeks later, they came back. Coming back, it was apparently Gininda, Mokgane, the other guy who was there when he was charged like 4 weeks ago, and the new person, because now apparently the first visit, Mamfundis was there. So on the second visit, Mamfundis was no longer there. So he was called to the office of the head of the prison, Mr. Yaka. And when he arrived there, Okunselani, Gininda introduced himself, and Gininda said, "We are here to apologize. As you have said that you were already incarcerated, we've checked the system, we've checked the records, and the records speaks for themselves. Yes, you were and your brother already incarcerated. So we are here to apologize to you." And it was like, "Okay, fine." And then he said, "But we would want you to do one thing, give us a statement, to check your alibi. Just give us something in writing to check your alibi." And he cooperated. He said, "Okay, it's fine." Now Gininda is sitting there. According to Qiniselani, Gininda is asking questions, and Qiniselani is answering him. So the statement, it was just a narrow statement, you know. It was just a narrow statement, simply to confirm that he and his brother were in prison when Senzo was killed. But the final, you know, document includes a whole, let me say the final statement includes a whole narrative naming accused number 2. So that's where the red flag is. That's where inking Akon. So he's saying, okay, he penned down the statement, not penning it down, but he actually gave the statement, narrating it. Someone was writing down, not even Kininda, someone, this other guy was writing it down, and then he penned his signature, and then he left. Now, today we had, as it was read in the court, Kunselani said, no, that's not my statement, because it was not even read back to me. And you heard on the clip Dr. Sibanda confirming that. But my thing is, if the system, if this information that these two guys were, it's already on the system, that these two guys were already in jail when Senzo was murdered, why the need to pen a statement down? Why was there a need for Uqiniselani to write the statement down? Why would Kininda drive all the way to KZN? Niyambona uKininda drive kanjani? uKininda would drive. Kininda would drive, and he doesn't, akakhathali, he would drive. Can you just drive to apologize to a person? Okay, mhlawumbe ikhetesi, he wanted to do it, you know, personally. But now this guy, after, penning this statement, is now being weaponized and used against him. It's so scary. The idea that the police or a high-ranking investigator can take a simple, specific statement from a citizen and inject completely fabricated, incriminating evidence into it to build a case against someone. It's scary. It's scary, absolutely scary. So now, Uqiniselani made it clear from the beginning ukuthi statement sami siphelela la engisho khona ukuthi we were released on this day. That's it. When it name unona accused one, Moses Biya, I am not gonna answer that, because that's what I don't know. I don't know that. It's not my statement. I never said anything about Moses Biya. Only Kininda mentioned to me that Moses Biya said, I have done this. So I have never said anything. I have never volunteered any information to Ukininda about accused one, and I am not prepared to answer any question that is mentioning accused one's name. Now, it's so sad. If you look at this, he's saying, I am not being disrespectful or rebellious, but I am not gonna say anything about accused one, because I've never said anything. And to be honest, look at it. Why would he say anything about accused one? Because they drove from Ulon, this guy Umkhane and the big dudes, they drove from here, go to KZN and go to charge him, right? After charging him, when he put his point forward and explained that it cannot be him, they left to verify the information. So at what time did he wanted to snitch? Why would he want to snitch? Really, guys, make it make sense for me. So Kininda had to drive back and say, Siyaxolisa, but write this down. In front of this guy, someone was writing the information down And he said, I never asked because this person was writing. And ngempela, if a person is writing, when you talk and someone is writing, the speed is not the same. If you're talking and a person is writing down, and like if you stop talking, the person will still be writing. You cannot say, now what are you writing? Like logically, you understand that the pace of talking and the pace of writing is not the same. You understand? So he wrote whatever, this guy wrote whatever. But now the funny part is, this guy wrote, what was writing, but in court, Ulwana or Dr. Sibanda confirms that is Brigadier Kininda's handwriting. But let me know on the comment section, what do you think about this new revelation? Okay, I don't know, I'm not intending to make this video to be too long, but yeah, let me know on the comment section, what do you think? And just to mention one last thing, Brigadier Kininda confirms that on the system it shows that these two guys were already incarcerated, so the records are there, right? And who was disputing that these guys were never incarcerated? Why was the need for a statement, a written statement? Because no one was disputing that, and whoever who wants to verify, the system is there, they are on the system, it shows that they are jail-based already. So why the need for the statement?
The court's finding, therefore, or the court's view that despite the fact that this statement was never read back to the witness and the witness was never afforded the opportunity to read it back, the statement was adequately proven.
No, he's proving it. What are you doing now, sir?
He is saying, my lord, may I then proceed to confirm this witness with the content of the statement, despite the fact that this witness says it was never read back to him,
because
and he never really, and that's a question of credibility. Now I'm asking this court, whether this court is therefore of the considered view that despite that necessary
the court is.
The state has been proved.
The court is of that view because
thank you, my lord.
The doctor is trying to prove the statement.
Is the
Not basement.
Yeah, fine.
Okay. It says First Lawrence case 636 of 10/2014.